Alright folks, we need to have a serious chat about the bombshell that's just dropped in the Ducati paddock. We've always known Marc Marquez is frighteningly quick, but what Davide Tardozzi, the big boss at Ducati Lenovo, just leaked completely shifts the goalposts. You think you know why Marc dominated the 2025 season? You think it's just down to his insane talent, or the fact that the GP25 is an absolute beast of a machine? Wrong. Tardozzi has just gone on record saying that the most impressive thing about Marc Marquez isn't his riding style. Think about that for a second. We're talking about a man who's just bagged his 9th world title, and his boss is saying, actually, that's not what floored me. This is massive news, guys. It's a big deal because it speaks to the very mentality behind a Ducati dominance that now looks near impossible to break. Stick with me on this one because we're going to dissect why this statement is a massive warning shot to every single rival on the grid for 2026. Let's look at the data. According to the latest reports from Bike Sport News, Davide Tardozzi was incredibly blunt about what shocked him. It was Marc's humanity and his leadership inside the garage. Tardozzi said, "The first thing that impressed me about Marc is the person, his personality. To me, he's still like a young boy, which is far greater than the rider or his professionalism." Think about the weight of that. Tardozzi has been in MotoGP for decades. He's seen Stoner, he's seen Rossi, he's worked hand in hand with Pecco. Yet he claims he's never seen anyone lead a group, work with engineers, and handle mechanics quite like Marc. I mean, this is Marc Marquez. Even when he bins it, and we know he crashed a fair few times pushing the limit, he stays cool, speaks the right way, and pivots immediately to the solution. He isn't just fast on the tarmac, he has conquered the people around him. Ducati are beaming, guys. They've secured the Triple Crown, rider, team, manufacturer, in 2025. And Marc is the sun at the center of that solar system. In modern MotoGP, marginal gains are everything. We're talking about ride height devices, aero packages, and hypersensitive tire management. If a rider just moans that the bike feels off, the engineers are left scratching their heads. But Marc? He's brought that prime Repsol Honda mentality to Ducati, but paired it with the humility of a rookie. Gigi Dall'Igna once noted that Marc has the determination of a debutant with the experience of a veteran. Tactics feedback. Marc doesn't just ask for a fast bike. He knows how to describe front-end chatter or power delivery issues with surgical precision. Mental fortitude. Remember, he dealt with injury in 2025, yet he still came back and won. Tardozzi called his way of bouncing back from mistakes perfect. Engine adaptation. There are whispers that the 2025 to 2026 Ducati spec actually suits Marc's aggressive style, more than Pecco's smooth approach. If Marc can marry technical prowess with this deep emotional bond with the team, it's game over for everyone else. The Tower of Champions for 2025 is already in Marc's trophy cabinet, but the ripple effect for 2026 is going to be tectonic. Aprilia started looking dangerous toward the end of the season, and KTM with Acosta is no joke. But if the Ducati boss is this smitten with Marc, what does that tell us? It means the development of the 2026 bike is going to be incredibly Marc-centric. The Ducati Lenovo team is currently sitting on a ridiculous points haul, 639 points. Pecco Bagnaia is now in a very tight spot. He's facing a teammate who isn't just fast, but is genuinely adored by everyone in the garage. That is an immense amount of psychological pressure. The 2026 market. Marc himself said the 2026 rider market would be the toughest of his career. But with this performance, who wouldn't want to sign him? He's rated his desire to stay at Ducati as an 8 out of 10. That's a loud and clear signal. Pecco has been Ducati's golden boy for years. He's the one who brought the title home after the Stoner era. But now, with Tardozzi constantly singing Marc's praises, even saying Marc's personality is far greater than just being a professional rider, it's a subtle psychological blow to Pecco. Think about it. In a garage, mechanics are human. If they feel comfortable and inspired by Marc's boyish yet solution-oriented energy, the support system shifts subconsciously. We've seen this before in the Rossi-Lorenzo era. And if Marc feels like he owns that garage, he becomes unstoppable. Ducati is currently finalizing the 2026 bike specs before the massive 2027 regulation reset. This news confirms one thing: Marc Marquez is steering the ship. Tardozzi emphasized how Marc focuses on solutions after a crash. This is the key. Marc isn't the type to blame the machinery. He'll say, "I went down at this turn because the front tucked when I did X, please help me with area Y." That kind of feedback is absolute gold for Gigi Dall'Igna. Front-end feeling. Marc needs that front tire glued to the track. Braking stability. He is the undisputed king of late braking. If Ducati builds the 2026 bike around Marc's input, it won't be a Ducati that Marc can ride. It will be a Marc Marquez bike that happens to have a Ducati badge. KTM and Aprilia must be breaking out in a cold sweat reading this. Their whole strategy relied on Ducati imploding from the inside due to the egos of Marc and Pecco. But Tardozzi's words suggest the exact opposite. Marc is actually galvanizing the team. If Marc creates a positive team harmony, there's no room for the drama that usually derails performance. Pedro Acosta at KTM might have equal talent, but he doesn't have a technical structure as powerful as Ducati, already bowing to the Marc Marquez charm. The 2026 landscape is shaping up to be either very boring, if you want someone else to win, or legendary, if you want to see history made. Marc is hunting for that 10th title, and Ducati is rolling out the red carpet. This isn't just PR fluff from the boss. It's an admission that Marc Marquez won the internal war before the 2026 season even kicked off. He's not just a genius on the asphalt, he's a genius behind the scenes. He knows that to beat Pecco consistently, he needs Tardozzi, Gigi, and every single mechanic to feel like he is their leader. And guess what? He's done it. So, is 2026 the year of the 10th title? With this level of absolute backing from Ducati Lenovo, I'd put it at a 90% yes. What do you lot think? Is Pecco being pushed out of his own home, or will this light a fire under him to get it even more aggressive? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoy these deep dives.